Breaking the Cycle with Simply Ann, where we confront the pain, expose the patterns, and unlock the power to heal. Real stories, real conversations, and real healing. In this Bible conversation tonight, we have Catherina Carbon, a dynamic young woman known for her energy in dance, singing, and ministry. Tonight, she will share her journey of embracing God's calling, from unexpected life shifts to navigating the seasons of growth. Katerina opens up about the lessons she's learned, the faith that anchors her, and how she's using her gifts to inspire the next generation. Please help me welcome Katerina Carbon. Kathy, how are you doing?
I am doing well. I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
It is indeed an honor to have you, Katerina. I always call you, I thought your name was Catherine. So tonight I learned something. It's Katerina. So we dive straight into it. So we're
Sure.
gonna have a conversation. So the people, St. Martin, and all that will be viewing tonight and beyond is Katerina, Kathy Carbon.
Okay, so Catherina Carbon, I am a woman of faith. I'm also a finance major as well as accounting major. That's my background.
Oh, twist.
Yes, yes, it's not dance. Dance is just something that is a passion, that I really and truly love. And over the years, I have chosen to develop it as best as I can. To be able to minister in excellence and so forth. So that's also my other heartbeat that's there too as well. I'm also a podcast host too as well. Her Reigning Journey.
I know.
Someone who loves her family, loves her friends, someone who's disciplined, who's ambitious, who is really and truly interested in others being able to grow and just simply be themselves and be able to make a positive impact as best as God leads while I'm here on this earth.
So you said not dancing, and I always knew you because of dance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And not only dancing, you dance very prophetically. And I saw the
Yeah.
young ladies that came out to your ministry also. This one of them that danced at one of my conference.
Mhm.
She danced angelical,
Yes, yes.
So it's more than a passion. It's a ministry.
Hmm.
Yeah. So can we go there? How
Sure,
did you start dancing? Why dancing?
sure. I believe I started dancing from a tender age at 6.
Oh wow.
Yes, definitely. And throughout my years, I kept it, maintained it, as well as even when I went off to college too, as well. I was also a part of different studios in the community, as well as ministry within church.
Mhm.
And over the years, for me, dance has been one way that I use it as a form of escape.
Oh,
A form of escape in terms of, being able to release, get lost in God's presence while you are there, allowing Him to minister to you. And then through that, also be able to minister to others who may be going through something, because dance is a powerful weapon and a powerful tool.
yeah,
Even though you don't have words
yeah.
that is being spoken, the
Wow.
very movement of your hands and your feet, they send signals into the atmosphere and they can cause atmospheres to shift,
Mhm, mhm.
and then you're able to usher in the presence of God wherever, He's leading you, whatever your assignment is for that time. So, I use dance as that tool where I can, just be able to free myself in
Yeah,
God's presence, use it to minister to others, help other young women as well, use it as a tool to do likewise too.
yeah.
So that's it pretty much for the dance.
You just said, and you said a few times, to free yourself,
Mhm.
to is dancing a form of healing to your soul?
Definitely. For me, definitely it is a form of healing. And it is also a known fact too that
Yeah,
dancing is a form of healing. When you have certain words, music is a powerful tool. So that is what accompanies it too as well. And it's so important, that the words that you pay
yeah.
attention to the
Wow.
words that are coming out from it too. So it is a very powerful tool.
Yeah, music is so important, the entertainment, the sound,
Hmm.
and everything. And unfortunately, right now we are living in an era that some of the music, the sound that we hear daily, especially young people,
Right.
are not that's supposed to bring healing are not. And so do you believe that music can make somebody violent?
Yes, I do believe it can make someone violent. Just I think few weeks ago, I heard someone that was within my district and I heard the music that they were playing. I want to kill this, I want to
Oh,
do that. And then I also realized the words that came out of his mouth when he said, I am a violent person. I am
yes.
this. And then you see that connection where it's like
Mhm.
whatever was being deposited inside of him
Oh, yeah.
is what was coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
So you can't give something you don't have. So whatever you have, the famous saying, garbage in, garbage out.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
same thing if you put something that is pure, something that is healing, and that's what you're gonna get out.
yeah,
It's not where you can plant seeds of apples and get grapes at the end
yeah,
of the
yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah,
So that is something that our young people as well as parents and everything should be so cautious. Everything sometimes can be seen as a trend,
yeah, yeah,
and certain trends, they are very, very dangerous when you pay close attention to the signals and the cues that are
yeah,
being
yeah,
given out. Sometimes when you see young people behave a certain way, you're wondering, why is it that they're operating that way? But when you listen to sometimes, just a part of the reason why they may be acting that way to what they're depositing inside of
yeah,
them, you realize that that is a contributor
yeah.
to their actions.
Yeah, you open a can of worms there that, I wasn't going there, but you took me there, and because right now everything is about music, it's about trend,
Hmm.
it's about TikTok, it's about challenge. That's the correct word? The
Yeah,
challenge,
challenge.
the
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah.
And we see our young people here in St. Martin that is, that choose to do all kinds of challenge just to be seen. Should we say that?
To be seen, to be a part of, because that human thing too, as well, where you want to be that sense of belonging to. You don't want to be left out or seem like you're the party pooper or,
Yeah,
see it to be like this sore thumb that sticks out. So they're gonna go along to get along sometimes, not really pausing and stopping to see, okay, what does this move signifies when I
yeah.
do this move? What action am I saying? So I think that is something that young people or even individuals that deal with young people, to reiterate to them and let them know, well, hey, are you aware? Are you conscious of what this means? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure if some of them realize it, they might be like, that's not my intention.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
While it may not be your intention, that is the signals that you're giving off. So, it's about also educating them
Mhm,
so that they're aware
mhm.
of this tool and how they can, use it in a different way,
Yeah.
because you have also challenges that are wholesome,
Yes.
challenges that are
Yes.
pure. They
Yes.
can bring people together for positive
Yes.
purposes.
Yes. Yes.
So, it's showing them the difference and helping them to channel the energy into a different direction while they can still have that sense of belonging
Yes.
too
Yes.
as well. So I think that's a major key.
Yeah. So in your dance ministry, you also engage and coach young people. So you have a lot of young people,
Hmm.
and you also are very young still. And also, I know that you are a pastor child.
Yes.
Grew up on St. March.
Hmm.
Let's go there.
Okay.
Your youth, being a pastor child. Huh. Perfect children,
Oh,
that do not sin, and keeping yourself to become this dynamic, wonderful influencer, I will call you,
okay.
in positivity, in godly stuff. How was that journey as a pastor child
Hmm.
with a stigma, pastor child?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go there.
Oh, that stigma of pastor child, believe it or not, growing up, it hasn't always been easy. It's something that I try my best not to let bother me growing up. Because sometimes when you have friends that may have certain parties and so forth, they might
Mhm.
be like, I ain't gonna invite you to this. And it's like, hey, why are you choosing to exclude me? You
Yes,
didn't
yes,
formally ask me. Why are you just up excluding me? So then certain things that were happening, they may not invite you, which sometimes may not have been bad. That's a way of probably God shielding me at that
yeah,
point in
yeah,
time.
yeah,
But it's as you rightfully said, that stigma where you feel like eyes are constantly on you.
Mhm.
where it's that feel like, hey, you know what, you don't want to do wrong, because as soon as you do wrong, or as soon as there's a dent or a chip in your armor, it becomes a whole big thing. It could be the littlest thing,
Yeah.
so you sometimes try your best to, well, at first in the beginning, it felt like you were walking on eggshells,
Mhm, mhm.
and I believe as time went by and I understood my identity in Christ, and my parents, what they did was that they encouraged my brother and I to develop our own relationship. So it
Wow.
wasn't something that was forced upon us. It was something where we see certain things happening. We saw it in the scripture, then we see it in the natural, certain things that were aligning. And you said, hey, you know what? I like this. I want to be able to go with it.
Yeah.
And, from there, it's understanding first and foremost that you are a child of God
Mm.
before a PK,
Yeah.
and I think that helped me along the way in being more comfortable in my skin
Yes.
and knowing that I'm human just like everybody else. You know what I mean? I'm human just like everybody else. I would
Yeah.
make mistakes just like everybody
Absolutely.
else. And, taking that with me pretty much allowed me to ease myself and, just be free. Well, hey, they're gonna talk. Regardless of what you do, people are gonna
Absolutely.
talk.
Yeah.
So just be yourself, the self that God created you to be.
Wonderful, wonderful. In your season of becoming, and you're still becoming,
Mhm.
can you share with us a season that stretched you the most?
Mm,
Yeah, the
yeah,
most painful season in your life. Would you like to share with us?
sure, sure. I would say one of the seasons that stretched me the most, I would say, is when I came into the dance ministry as leader.
Okay.
Because of course I was really young at that point in time. I wasn't 30 as yet either. So, having to be in a role that is pretty new,
Mm-hmm.
and you're dealing with, adults that are older than you, which is the parents. And then, you still have the kids as
Yeah,
well that's coming from different homes and backgrounds. And it's totally different ball game versus when you're just a student, versus when you
yeah,
become
I got you.
leader and head, and different
Responsibilities.
responsibilities that come on you. And I believe that really and truly stretched me, because then I had to lean on mentors, lean
Mm,
on books, and just be able to say, hey, God, sometimes I really and truly don't know, but I have to rely on you, Holy Spirit. And then it's also being able to say, hey, if I make a mistake, be able to admit it and just continue moving, continue going. So it definitely
mm,
stretched my faith because you're launching out into the unknown.
yes, yes.
And it also really and truly stretched my patience. you know, Stretch my patience too as well, because you have everyone and everything to deal with. So it has been a wonderful learning journey, I would say. We celebrated 10 years. Well, I celebrated
Wow.
10 years this year as being leader.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Wow,
thank you.
wow.
And when I look back at when I started versus where I am today, also in terms of, the confidence, the boldness, the
Yes,
reassurance,
yes,
and the different little gems, the collaboration, being able to collaborate, knowing who to collaborate with, when to collaborate,
yes, yes.
leaning on the Holy Spirit, and, just being there, and who it's in your surroundings that you can trust, and, all these different things definitely has stretched me, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Great, great, fabulous. So because of that, the same stretching, and I know that you're a woman of faith.
Mhm.
How did you maintain that faith when changes came, when, like you said, the parents and the stretch season? How did you keep your faith strong and growing so you could have the assignment that was right in front of you?
I would say first and foremost, just really admitting to God and say, God, I really don't know.
Mhm.
That honesty, and saying, God, I need your direction. I really want to hear you, what you're saying in this season, not for me personally, but for those that you have given me.
Yeah.
Because if you have placed me here in this position for this time, call me to it, then I'm going to need your help, your
Wow.
provision for it. So it really caused me to keep my ears in tune to the seasons that were happening, and knowing when to move, when to be still, the themes. And I
Yes.
believe also too, going back to what I mentioned when I said it was important to know who to trust around you, people who were like-minded and believed in
Yes,
the
yes,
vision.
yes,
So even sometimes when you yourself had doubts, when I had doubts, and I really and truly was like, hey, is this the right move? Should we do this? Should we do that? Because they were able to know me and they understood the vision that was for it. They were like, hey, you know what? Probably this may be good for now. Or what if you try exploring X, Y,
yeah,
Z?
yes, yes,
And
yeah.
they were also people,
Your network.
yeah, your network, it plays
Hmm.
a big role. And they were also people of faith too, as well. So then they were able to pour into me in those
Hmm.
moments when it may feel a bit uncertain. They can also pour back into me as well.
Yes,
And then that helps to keep the fire going, keep the blaze going, as well as knowing when to say, hey, you know what, I need to be poured into in another way in terms of attending workshops and different things. Those also help to
maintain.
build, maintain, and build too as well.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You know, I deal a lot with young people, and
Hmm.
what most young people want to know, why am I here? What
Right.
is my purpose? Why these things are happening to me? Why me? And
Hmm.
what is the reason that I'm here? Um, and many people, go through life not identifying the reason why they're here
Hmm.
and living a life fulfilling
Yeah.
the assignment. That feeling inside of you that, tired or not, I want to do it, because you find your passion, your
Yeah.
drive, what keep you going, and finding purpose. And in God, we must find our purpose. And most people go
Hmm.
to God and they want to find the purpose immediately. I always tell people, you need to find God first, then to locate your purpose.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
know you're a woman of God, and let's talk about your purpose. Have you find your purpose? Did you recognize your purpose? Are you walking in your purpose?
Hmm.
Why do I ask you this? Because you
Okay.
started as a young person,
Right.
and many young persons watching us tonight. And oftentimes, young people believe that is this perfect set of people over there alone
Hmm.
can make it in life. Oh, because you are a pastor child, things are going good with you, and I will never be able to find my purpose. I will never be able to do great. I will never be able to heal
Hmm.
and deal and overcome. I will never be able to be me and be happy.
Right.
So let's dive into that. Your youth calling, your
Hmm.
purpose, regardless of who is your mother or who's your father.
Right.
Help us understand that journey.
Sure. Um, Something I've realized while being on this journey is that there are different seasons and
Mm.
assignments attached to the seasons.
Wow, wow, she's going deep.
Too as well, the assignments attached to the seasons. Because here it is, there's one season where, or being in this season with the dance ministry per se,
Hmm.
I know that, hey, this is where God wants me to be developing to help the young ladies
Yeah.
with the ministry, etc. But I also know with a confidence that that may not be the same assignment that I have within the next, let's say, 10 years, the next other 10 years to
Mm-hmm.
come. It may be someone else that comes along the way,
Yeah.
and that baton now would have
Hmm.
to be passed on to them.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it's basically knowing, hey, okay, God, in this other season, what it is, what assignment are you calling me to
Hmm.
that is attached to the bigger purpose that you have for me being here on the earth,
Hmm.
which is, to give you glory in whatever aspect you are
Yeah.
calling me
Yes.
to as well. So I believe, it's understanding that too as well, that assignments are also targeted to seasons. Because in the next 10 years, it may be where, hey, you know what? He
Oh,
wants me
this
to
is good.
deal with women in a different level because I
Yes.
always have this thing of, dealing with the young women, helping to try and see how I could mentor them as best as possible so that they know that their stories
Hmm.
matter. It could be right now that that aspect is within the dance team.
Hmm.
And then probably within the next 10 years, it might be that same way, but maybe it could be that I'm speaking to women from a platform, whether it could be
Yes.
preaching.
Yes.
So for me, when it comes to that journey, is really and truly being sensitive and being like, God, what is the things that I'm passionate about? What it is that you're calling me to, you're drawing me to, that you're leading me to, and truly surrendering your
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
and saying, God, let my will align with what
Wonderful.
you have. So
Wonderful.
that's how it has been for me on this journey so
Wow.
far.
Wonderful. So this talk show is breaking the cycle.
Cycles,
Yes,
yes.
and the breaking the cycles is about trauma. Is about real cycles that we see that pass on from generation to
Right.
generation, and we see people going through some rough stuff. So I know in your ministry, in
Mm-hmm.
in what God called you to do, you recognize a different season, of course, and you recognize
Mm-hmm.
a different assignment, and you deal with people, you deal with souls, and you deal with young people.
Right.
So have you identified cycles in young people life as you keep going? Because you said 10 years. 10 years is quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The different cycles,
Mm-hmm.
the different trauma that you could identify in generation to generation of different girls, different culture, different
Right.
race.
Definitely, one of the things that I have seen that's really a big factor is the family dynamic.
Mm,
The family dynamic, believe it or not, whether you are in church or out of church, it affects you because you're human.
yeah, yeah,
You're human. When
absolutely.
you see children long for the two parents, more than they may not say it with the words or they can't vocalize it, but their actions give off, hey, what am I missing? That active parent being present in my
Wow.
life. What did I do to deserve something like this? Why
Yes,
it is that others have it, but
yes,
I
yes,
can't have
yes,
that same thing. So
yes.
you see where it's like blaming me, like, what did I do? When it's really and truly not
Wow, you're going deep.
you
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Whereas also parents understanding the boundaries in letting children be children and not having them to
Mm,
be two adulteries before their time. Because here it is, when you hear certain conversations, it's like, okay, you are at that age, but your mind is not even developed properly yet to process what you're
what you're going
trying
through.
to
Yeah,
handle.
yes,
So
yes.
it's better that you stay in that form and take your time and go through the phases that you need to grow through
Mm-hmm.
as a teen and not be so quick in terms of, okay, being this adult that you feel sometimes you have to carry the weight of
Yes,
your family.
yes, yeah.
You understand? No, you're just 12. You're just
Mm,
12, so certain things like that you would see happening and your heart really goes out to it because it's like, man, first and foremost, I didn't experience that. When I was 12, I was 12. I was
yeah.
acting like a 12-year
You're old.
old.
Yes.
And then here it
Wow.
is, you see others at that age and they're carrying that. And it's like, no, you need to let it go. That is
Mm,
not for you to carry. So there are
wow.
certain things like that you see, and it trickles down into their schoolwork,
Yeah.
to them feeling like they're not loved, and then, knowing their identity and so forth. So just these are some of the things that you see, you observe, as well as certain conversations you may have with them,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, there's a lot of work
Yeah. Yeah.
to be
We have
done.
and most people don't realize that we on St. Martin is a small rock,
Hmm.
but we have a lot of dysfunctional home on this island
Hmm.
that is affecting the young people that gonna become adults
Right,
tomorrow.
right.
And if we don't start to address it and start to prevent some stuff, start to heal at a young age,
Hmm.
we're gonna have some dysfunctional adult tomorrow walking around in many offices from a pastoral office,
Yes, yes,
a minister office,
yep,
a teacher office,
yep.
you name it.
Hmm.
And we need to understand that all of our role is to help someone and heal someone.
Hmm.
So in the journey now of identifying some of these cycles and some of these abuse and some of these trauma, have you seen how the dance ministry start to heal and change the young person?
Oh, yeah, definitely. As we go back and we said that, the power of dance is a
Hmm.
healing tool. So, when you allow them to be in that space, especially when it comes to their free worship, this
Yes.
is like their conversation with God,
Wow.
more or less. And they're using that to converse to God. So it could be like their cries for help with their different motions.
Wow.
And it's right in there, when the presence of God is able to come in and just saturate and hoover over them and heal their hearts. It's like, wow, okay, you see that little softness that might come out of them. So those are some of the things that we see in the space
Hmm.
that's provided there too. So it's really a wonderful tool when they're able to just hoover in God's presence and let Him do the mending too as well on the
Yeah.
spiritual side.
Yeah. 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 What breaking the cycle means to you?
For me, breaking the cycle would be saying it stops with me. That you have chosen
Oh,
to
wow.
say, hey, it stops
Right
with
here.
me. It stops right here with me. And being determined to do the work to stop that cycle,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's also including therapy, because although I'm a person of faith, I do believe in therapy too as
Yes.
well.
Yes. Holistically. Yeah.
Having going to the extent of, hey, you know what? I need that help. Being honest with yourself too, as well, and
Mm-hmm.
saying, I don't want this to be trickled down to my daughter, my son, etc. And
Yeah.
because I'm determined for it to be stopped with me, what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
And be
Mm-hmm.
able to put in the work
Mm-hmm.
too, as well. Not just say, hey, I need help, but being willing to put in the work on the low days, on the high days,
Yes.
still being able to say, hey, I need this. I see the benefit of it and I am ready to do what it takes to make sure that that cycle stops with me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you talk to a lot of young people. Is it easy for them to find someone to talk to, someone to confide in, someone to help them
Mhm.
through the healing process? How easy it is. What do they say?
Oh, they would always say it's not easy.
Why?
It's not easy because it's like, if I tell this person, how would they see me and view me? Would they go back and tell my mom? Would they go back and say this? I feel like this sort of shame that's coming upon me. I really probably don't want to speak to anyone about it. Those are certain things that may be said, especially that trust factor.
Yeah, yeah. I talk to a lot of young people, and one thing they do say a lot is, I don't trust
Mm-hmm.
adults. I don't trust our protected, those that need to
Right.
protect, from the police force, from the teachers,
Mm-hmm.
um, unfortunately, it happens a lot, even
Mm-hmm.
to the counselors. They
Yeah.
always go back and say, and it's something that we need to break that cycle. That when someone confide in us,
Mm-hmm.
they confide in us because it meant confiding,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
confiding means to leave it between the two of us, and it
Mm.
can really destroy and make someone person make the person feel betrayed, and then
Yes.
it add another form of
Yep.
trauma,
Yep.
of betrayal and injustice. And I see it a lot in young people, and
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of work to do.
A lot.
um,
A lot.
and especially for churches, we need to start to treat the trauma, the things that happen within our community, holistically,
Mm-hmm.
and understand that this is more than prayer. This is more than prayer.
Yeah.
The person need to be able to talk and express themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
go down in the road so
Mm-hmm.
we can break certain cycles.
Cycles.
The cycles don't be broken when we silent it.
No,
Yeah.
no. And sometimes it also takes something that I have seen too as well. It may take more than one session.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
relationship really helps a lot when you have relationship with someone or you put yourself in a position that you want to build that relationship
Yeah.
with them. So then they feel like, okay, you know what? I have that person's tricks. I remember one
Safe
time I was
space.
that safe space. I remember one time one of my teens, we have a really good relationship and I hugged her and I told her, I got you.
Wow.
I got you. And literally, she started crying and she's like, you don't understand what those words just did for me.
Wow.
I told her, wherever you end up in this world,
I
I
got you.
got you. So then she knows, hey, this is someone
Wow.
that I can run back to,
Wow.
that whatever it is, she's going to be here. So, it's trying to allow folks to see that. And something that I've learned too as well is that some individuals too, as much as you want to help them,
Mhm.
they have to want
Yeah.
that help too
Yeah.
as well. They
The
have to
ones.
want, that mentorship or
Mhm.
want that too as well. So that in itself too can also take work. So sometimes I would tell them, if you may feel that it may not be me or it may not be a parent, you need to find someone.
Need to
You
find
need to
someone.
find someone.
Yeah, you need to find a safe space. And here in St. Martin, that's something that we need to develop. And I really believe in youth empowerment,
Hmm.
and also that we can create, within the churches or within
Right.
the community center, place that we call safe, that someone can run to. Because we do see a lot of suicidal attempts. And then
Yes.
we see also, unfortunately, some that succumb to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the question is, was there no one around that the person could have feel safe to say that
Yeah.
I'm going through this thing and I feel like I'm drowning?
Hmm.
Can you help me? And afterwards, you do hear people pop up and say,
Yeah.
"Well, I knew and I heard. Yes, she told me. Yes, you hear all kinds of stories after the fact
Hmm.
when the person is no longer there. So then we need to realize that we need to do something. So it's more than allowing the person to vent or talk
Yeah.
and confide, but take it deeper. How can I bring the person out? How can I pull the person out? So we have a lot of work
Hmm.
um, in help break the cycle and how we deal with
Yeah.
this generation.
I agree.
'Cause this generation is a different kind of
Very
generation.
different. Very different.
This generation is a generation that sees something on social media and it affects them mentally,
Hmm.
you know? What would you say to a young person who feel called by God
Hmm.
but are hesitant to step out and start to heal and they're still doubting themselves and they've been placed in that position and they're still struggling that I'm too young. I don't think, I have so much scars, I have so much wounds, I have so much bruises, and mama and there and all the things that happen to us.
Hmm.
But yet they feel that they hear the voice of God, they have the dreams, they have visions,
Hmm.
and they feel something. What is advice you will tell that young person that is watching us tonight?
One advice I would give them and, reassure them is that God makes no mistakes
Wow,
and that we
wow.
each are here with our own individual assignments on the earth.
Hmm.
Whatever is in them, they can't do it. You can't do it. It is deposited within them for a reason
Yeah.
because only they are designed by God and created by God in that manner to
Yes.
release it
Wow.
in the earth. Yes, the journey is going to be hard. Yes, there are going to be uncertainties. Yes, there are going to be highs and lows because you want to also give them the reality and not just paint a pretty picture.
Yes. Yes.
But it takes making those small steps and even doing it while you're scared, even doing it while you're going through your healing,
Yes.
because that process of your healing is a part of your journey that God may also be using for someone else
Mhm, mhm.
that you're about to encounter in whatever venture that He's giving you. So nothing about you is ever wasted. Everything is always used for God's purpose.
Yes.
He would
Yes.
always use it for God's purpose also too as well, find at least one person who can walk alongside you on this journey. If you may not find anyone as yet, do it alone.
Mhm.
Even if you do it scared, do it
Do it
alone, do
scared.
it scared. Small
Love that.
steps,
Do it scared.
so that would be my advice to them.
I love this platform and I love the conversation we are having. If you're inspired about this conversation that we're having with Catherine tonight, share it, tell someone, share it so it can help a young person that feel lost and with no hope, that feel that God cannot use me. God can use anyone,
Yes.
but do it scared, as Catherine said. Do it scared, and you must come back to the next episode because we're gonna continue diving in. How do we heal from this trauma? How do we identify this trauma? How do we break cycles and how we can become our best version even when we're scared?
Yes.
Catherine, I want you to finish a sentence for me.
Sure.
In this season of my life, I'm choosing.
To live abundantly.
Wow, wow, I love that. What does that mean?
For me, that means every area of my life, whether it is family wise, whether it is ministry wise,
Yes,
to attack it from a full sense, give it my all, and just see everything as being, hey, what's in store for me would be for me, that I
hmm
won't
hmm
settle for less. I would continue to
yes,
go, no matter what the journey may seem. That even when I wake up in the morning, with me personally, I am choosing, to declare that this day is going to be a good day.
yes.
So in every area of my life, just seeing it as being full circle as best as I can.
I love it. I love it, Catherine. Katerina,
That's it.
thank you so much. It's what an inspiration time we had tonight with Katerina Carbon. A reminder that God's season, tough, it might be tough, but it's to shift us in different season. And no season is ever wasted.
Wasted.
And we must do it scared. If you're a person, one person that's listening that would like to share your story, or you're one person that would like to sponsor this program or advertise on it, contact us on the various social media platforms. And we would love to have you, just like Catherine, especially if you're young. We want to hear your story. We want to see how you started, because it may start broken, but we can transform it to something beautiful.
Right.
Maybe you're watching today and you feel the weight of transition. Maybe you're stepping into a season you don't fully understand. Or maybe you're the one holding back on your calling because fear feels louder than faith.
Mm.
Contact Catherina. If you like to dance, let's go to Catherina, especially a young lady. I've seen young ladies that pass through Catherina hands, and she has done marvelous stuff
Thank you.
through her gifts and her calling. Every cycle can change. Your season may have started broken, but you have the power to change it. Until next time, keep watching, keep standing, and keep breaking the cycle. Healing is in your hand, and you have the power to do so. Until next time, breaking the cycle with Simply Ann.